Coming up next on the CHGO Cubs Podcast, shocking news in baseball and bizarre timing on this bad boy, plus NL Central shortstop rankings. Where is Dansby and Shaw in right field? Oh, Happy New Year. Year of the Cub? We'll find out next. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? It's the CHGO Cubs Podcast. It is February 17th, a Tuesday, which means it's a Tuesday with Roman. Justin Roman's in the house. Joey Christopoulos. I'm Luke Stuckmeyer, and Sarah running the ones and twos. There it is.
You were early. You jumped in early.
I paused. She's excited. I tried to really set her up.
I'm so excited for baseball season.
And I want to correct you, Luke. It's no longer Tuesdays at Roman. I'm going to be here a lot more.
That's right.
So we
Wednesdays with Justin, Mondays with Justin.
Maybe some Saturdays with
Justin. So I'm excited, though. A new season, the trio, we're going to kick some butt, right?
Here we go. I see Becky is in the live YouTube chat. Hi to everybody in the live YouTube chat. I see Corey, our guy, is there. Becky, hope you feel better. Maybe this show will be just what your spirits need to lift you up. And if not, here's the thing that will do it. A big trip coming up to spring training. That's right, the CHGO spring training trip. Road trip sponsored by our friends at Shady Rays. And our guy Chris Panka already said, we're going to get you guys some new shades for this trip.
I love it.
And so I'm not sure, but it's March 5th to March 8th. We're going to go to Cubs games. We can do this all a la carte. You can sign up for what you want. We're going to go to some games at Sloan Park. We've got a Bulls game against the Suns while we're there. We're going to have a golf outing with all of the All-City teams out there, so you can golf with us, hang out with us. We're going to have some meet and greets. Maybe we'll throw a little merch your way some of these days. We're going to have some fun. We're definitely going to have some fun. And if it's, listen, I didn't want to do this, but if somebody wants to rub sunscreen on me, that's okay, you know? It's a little disgusting.
Justin, you're the new guy.
Now
that you're officially here multiple times a week.
I can't reach my back.
I'm man enough to rub some lotion on, Luke.
No, nobody's rubbing lotion on me.
But you know what got me
First of all,
thinking
there's
about?
Not enough lotion.
That's true. What got me thinking about Shady Rays was that, you ever seen the movie That Thing You Do? One of my favorite movies of all time, Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Remember they called the drummer Shades?
Yeah.
We should get Luke a nice pair of Shady Rays, and we'll just call him Shades all season. Like,
Take us there.
Call me Shades.
Just call you Shades.
Well, there was a time when I asked everyone to call me Maverick when Top Gun 3 was coming out, or 2 or whatever it was. I was Maverick, and I wanted the theme music every time I put on the shades.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool. All right.
So we could always bring that back if we wanted to. We're going to have a good time. We're looking forward to it. If you haven't signed up, make sure you check it out right now. By the way, there's lots of good merch to buy there at the store, too. And we will talk about the new giveaways at Wrigley Field. The schedule is kind of out, so if you want to plan what games and where you want to go for all that stuff, feel free. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about Tony Clark stepping down and how does that impact what's going on with baseball, not only this season, but obviously next season, potentially, and Sean Wright. But we start with the big news, which is our rankings for shortstop.
Oh, yeah.
Headline of the day.
So we've been going around the field and saying, all right, if you guys want to rank who's the best player, the top 10 at every position, that's cool. Everywhere else, we're just doing in the division. And this one drew some chatter between us on a text train. Like, where do we want to go with this? And I saw somebody, I think it was Corey, saying, listen, there's been a little talk of Elly De La Cruz maybe shifting to another position. If that would happen, this would greatly throw off
our rankings.
And Corey, is that for this season? Is that talks? They're moving him to the outfield?
No, I hadn't heard it. It was Corey. I keep seeing speculation. Elly De La Cruz moving to the outfield for the Reds. Yeah. If he did.
Yeah. Outside of TJ Friedl, they don't really have a center fielder, and this seems to be it's very in vogue, right? And we saw it in Pittsburgh. We'll get to them in a second with O'Neal Cruz moving out to center field. Yep. We heard some of the rumors with Nico Horner a couple years ago of, hey, they could chuck him out there in center field, but then lo and behold, they trade for PCA. So, Yeah, we're going to get into Elly De La Cruz, his talent, warts and all, and why maybe outfield, maybe his destiny in his career.
All right, so do we want to start at the bottom? Is that how we want to do it?
Start from the bottom.
I don't know what that means. It doesn't get controversial until who?
Teach him so much this summer.
Come on,
See,
man.
I don't know any Drake
You don't
songs.
know Drake?
No.
Started from the bottom. I can't really sing it, right? We get flagged, but yeah, it's a big song by Drake.
Oh, no, we can't sing
Big
it.
song by Drake.
A lot of people know that song.
Yeah.
Well, I don't, okay? It's that simple. I don't. So blah.
You had me fooled, though, because you said it, and I was like, you're quoting Drake. You said it perfectly, and then, but you didn't realize it. No.
I'm more of a shot caller.
Mo baller.
I'm a mo baller, shot caller, 20-inch blades on my Impala.
Oh, you're old school. You're old school.
Yeah, that's right.
Pastor Troy. You know that?
Yeah.
That's Pastor Troy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Big ball and smashing, making my ends.
Who would have known that Luke Stuckmeyer knows Pastor Troy but not Drake?
That's right. Well, at some point, I cut off new music to my life.
Okay, that's a good point.
You have kids, like this. Like
I
you
get
get the kids, it's like I don't need any more new songs. Everything I know now is kid songs.
I get it.
All right. So shortstops. We're going at number 5, Nick Gonzalez.
So the thing about this is with the Pittsburgh Pirates and their depth chart right now, they've got Jared Triolo on that list. They got Nick Gonzalez, a guy who I think is actually a solid baseball player, but has struggled with injury, can't really stay on the field. They have him penciled in right there. As we just mentioned, O'Neal Cruz was supposed to be their shortstop of the future.
Right.
No more. And the part about it with Nick Gonzalez is a bit of a placeholder right now is the fact that Connor Griffin, they're not sure whether he's going to be a shortstop or whether he's going to be a center fielder when and if he comes up this season. So right now with the Pittsburgh Pirates, they made some moves, Justin, but right now they have a lot of spots where you're like, who's playing where?
Right.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
Where's it going? So I got Nick Gonzalez. I think we have him bringing up the rear right now among shortstops in the NL Central.
Yeah, I think, I said it before, I'll say it again with the Pirates, like none of that team scares me. I know they signed Ozuna. I know they signed O'Hearn, right?
Ryan O'Hearn, Brandon Lau,
Bronson
Individually.
Arroyo. No, sorry.
Bronson Arroyo, they run it back. Whatever on paper, fine. But like the Pirates are still, to me, going to be the Pirates minus Paul Skeens. I'm fine with him being number 5. He probably belongs there. And, he's almost like a throwaway for me at the 5 position.
What I'd like to say about this is I don't know anything about him, and so he's number 5.
Yeah.
That's why he's number 5. Because
That's why he's number 5.
He's got a great mustache.
Nick Gonzalez. It's a very nice name. He's a swell young man. But I don't know a whole lot about him. Barb, yes, the chat is working. We read everything you're saying there, Barb. Okay, at number 4.
Keep the mustaches rolling.
Joey Ortiz. I would just like to say about this, it's nice to see the Brewers not in the top 3.
Yeah.
Nice to see the Brewers not in the top 3.
Yeah.
Because the first couple positions we were like, okay, catcher, we'll give them number 1. All right, they factor in there. It's possible left field is their position. Now we're starting to get to positions where the more we do them, the more we see the Brewers not in the top 2. And it's why there is no other outcome than the Cubs winning this division this year. Like it has to happen just based on what you're starting to see more and more. It's like they're not. Please stop this, right? Like they're not that good.
The Brewers are top heavy at catcher.
Yes,
but like average at shortstop.
Yes.
Maybe below average. Actually, fun fact about Joey Ortiz is that I took my son, my 11-year-old Tristan, to a game at Wrigley Field, and he plays shallow baseball. And he goes, Dad, he's batting under 200. Joey Ortiz. Every single time. He's batting like my son called out the fact that Joey Ortiz is like less than average. And that stuck with me. So for me, number 4, you could spot 4 and 5. I don't really care. Those are definitely 2 of the bottom ones here in the Central.
Yeah, he's the classic 1990s glove first pest, right? And if you are on the mound and if the Cubs are playing the Brewers and your starter gives up a hit to Joey Ortiz, you're a little extra upset.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because he's supposed to be the auto out to kind of work through the bottom of the lineup. And then you get to the tougher stuff when you get back to the top.
Yep.
So with Joey Ortiz, really good defensively. But yeah, when we talk about him offensively, just simply not up to snuff. And yeah, Luke, that's why we're doing this exercise is because the first mission is just win the division. So let's stack each of our players up against the other players of the positions in the division, and let's make it clear and walk through the exercise of why we feel so confidently about that.
Joey Ortiz, whoa.
baby. And if we're kind of comparing Joey Ortiz's game being a glove first shortstop, little guy, Ray Sanchez vibes.
Oh,
we were talking about him before the show. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, he might be better.
If he's Ray Sanchez, they're in trouble.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, my point is there's nothing to brag about.
No offense to Ray Sanchez, but
for the record, one more time, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but my favorite moment of my life with Harry Carey, you all have seen the clip before, when there's a pop-up and Harry Carey to Ray Sanchez, and Harry Carey goes, "Oh, he's never dropped one of those in his life," and he dropped the pop-up. And Steve saw what he just did, and they laughed so hard. If you haven't seen this clip, you have to go to YouTube and go check out after the show. Obviously, go check out that clip. You will cry hysterically laughing at that clip.
It's one of his all-time moments.
He's never dropped one of those in his life. Boink.
Boink. Yep, there it happened.
Some lean days, man. Those are some lean days. Yeah, he joins the club of the Jose Iglesias of the world. I think Ray Sanchez is a great example.
Ronnie Cedeno, Luke brought up a while back.
Ronnie Cedeno.
That kind of category.
Starlin Castro.
Jeff
Blauser.
Blauser.
The one thing he could do is hit.
Castro could hit. Yeah.
All right, at number 3, really, who cares? But Mason Wynn of the Cardinals. And now here's where we start to get
we got the
arguments, right? It's not that I don't like the potential of Mason Wynn.
Right.
But offensively, he's going to have to be better this year. I don't think he can say he's better than the other two guys offensively, and they're both good defensively as well. He's a nice player, and he's one of the few players I can say about that on the Cardinals roster.
Right.
So unfortunately for him, he falls into the irrelevant category because he plays in St. Louis, and it's irrelevant, boring, and the team isn't even trying.
They're horrible.
What's the opposite of the Dodgers?
That's what the Cardinals.
The Cardinals.
That's
Cardinals
what the Cardinals
and White
are
Sox right now.
Look, so this is where the conversation gets interesting, right? And I think in terms of Mason Wynn, young player, right? I think he has a lot of potential. I think his trajectory and his future is very, very bright. He's coming off of, in 2024, he had a WAR of 4.9, and you're like, wow, taking that all day long.
Very good.
In 2025, offensively, fell off the map, but again, 17 defensive runs saved. We love to have the argument, especially in the 120 club, out there in the bleachers, of who's a better shortstop, Mason Wynn or Dansby Swanson. And I think it's a great argument. Mason Wynn maybe has more athleticism, and I think the defensive run saves, the range, the glove, all that stuff, I think that definitely checks out. But I have Dansby Swanson ahead of Mason Wynn. And here's the only one about it. Justin, are you cool with this list so far? Mason Wynn at 3, Dansby Swanson at number 2.
Yes,
okay.
I am. Don't forget, people, because of his contract, people can be down on Dansby Swanson. The one thing we all know, he's a Gold Glover at shortstop. Defensively, this guy, Dansby, is a stud. Okay, I think we all can agree on that. But don't also forget, he hit 25 bombs last year? And offensively, there are times when he can really show out. And I love his press conference. I mean, I know we all talk about, the best shape of his life and all those kind of things, but I do love Dansby's words this camp, where he himself has said he is not satisfied with his past couple years. He understands that in his expectations and our expectations that he's kind of been below that. And I kind of see a new motivated Dansby. I think the team is better this year, which means Dansby isn't going to be asked to bat 5 or 6. I think you're going to see him low in the order. And I think Dansby Swanson can thrive low in the order. And I think, I still don't think, here's my hot take. I don't think that Dansby's best days as a Cub are behind him. I still think there's more there. And I think that this year in this lineup, batting, 7, 8, 9, I think you might see him flourish.
I think we've always argued on this podcast this fact that anybody that wants to say Dansby's no good, first of all, should watch him play defense.
Right.
Second of all, it is about the money for a lot of people, and it's not our money.
Right.
But offensively, it's about where he's batting. Like, when he first got to the Cubs, he shouldn't have been batting where he was. It's because the team was so bad.
Yeah.
He is a bottom-of-the-order guy who does give you 20-some home runs, and he'll give you a little bit of a loopy-loop season. But when it's said and done, you look at it and say, I got 20-plus homers out of my shortstop who played Gold Glove defense.
Yep.
Is he Cal Ripken? No. But, He's a really good shortstop. He's turned out to be the best value of that group, at least up to this point.
Yes.
He's been the best value of those guys. And
look, don't forget, I would say almost single-handedly won us that first round of the playoffs. I mean, like we all talked about
what the Padres say.
I mean, for real, like defense and pitching wins championships. Dansby Swanson and his glove, I think, advanced us to the next round in this past playoffs. You can't dismiss that. There is value in defense, and there is value to hitting 25 home runs, and there is value to him having the best hair in all of baseball, which I think we all can agree the man has. So, number 2, I think he could have battled number 1. I want to see who number 1 is because I think Dansby could have battled number 1.
We saw that he even said, he's going to work on some different stuff. But it is true. It's about turning over the lineup, Pat, and getting to that point. More on Dansby Swanson in a second. We'll talk about this and where he really stacks in the division in just a minute. It is Fat Tuesday.
Ooh.
Wow.
A day just for me. How about that? CHGO Cubs next. Hey, what if you could have reliable and intelligent Wi-Fi? And what if you could keep it at the same price for not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 years? That is the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Imagine Wi-Fi that makes everything in your room work together. It finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi that's got this sixth sense, if you will, and it lets you stream the game while the rest of the family is online doing something else. All your devices working in perfect harmony. Everybody's happy. Here's the best part. No annual contracts.
Ooh.
No hidden fees.
Nice.
And Xfinity's best equipment is included.
Of course.
Take it from me. A lot can change in 5 years. So lock in your price right now. Unlock the possibilities with Xfinity. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. This is crucial if you got a family because, like I said, I like to watch the game. The kids are on the iPads and tablets all at one for 5 years.
Ooh, it's 2026, so I want to talk about Huel. That's right. Can you believe we're already 2 months into 2026? I can, because that means spring training is right around the corner. And just because it's 2 months in, spring is happening, doesn't mean you need to kick away your New Year's resolution goals. Huel is the perfect solution for high protein for your routine. Every single day provides that support for those busy days, and it gets you into the building those habits, and it's convenience and control all this year. I got myself a little chocolate peanut butter flavor right here, Luke. 35 grams of protein, 27 essential vitamins and minerals, no artificial sweeteners, colors, or flavors, and it is gluten-free. Also, you want to mix it up a little bit? Get their protein powder pack here too as well, because you can add your own fruits and other delicious items to make the smoothie of your dreams. So what you got to do is there's limited time and offer. Get Huel today with their exclusive offer of 15% off when you use the code CUBS15, CUBS15 for new customers only. Go to Huel.com/Cubs15 today. 15.
Welcome back to CHGO Cubs. Mo, Larry, and Curly down there. We were talking about Dansby Swanson. I want to read this for Bruce Levine yesterday. He said he asked Craig Counsell if Dansby Swanson changing his offensive mindset, which you alluded to a little bit, Justin, was because he was relegated to hitting 8th or 9th most of last year. And Dansby, he said, just wants to be a better offensive player, period. I like that a veteran player is willing to change something and step out of his comfort zone. We all have to do it at some point in our life. You got to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and try something a little bit different or something a little bit new. It was one of the knocks quietly behind the scenes that happened after the Cubs won the World Series, that some of the young players from that core kind of pushed back on any suggestions they were getting about making them a better offensive player, more consistent.
We got this kind of thing.
We won a World Series this way, man. Like, we broke 108 years. You don't have to tell me how to do it. I know how to do it. Here's a veteran player with a big contract telling you, I am going to adjust some things. Even though I hit 20-plus home runs and did this, I think I can be better. So I think it's fair to put Dansby at number 2, but I also, especially if Elly De La Cruz was not going to be playing there this year, I can make an argument for number 1, which I know is going to really fire up some people.
Yep.
Yes, so let's walk through this, right?
Walk us through it.
So I texted you guys last night, and I started like crunching the numbers. And Sarah, let's flash it up right now if you want to. Let's put Elly De La Cruz up there at number 1. And we have Dansby there at number
22.
At number 2. No, 2-2.
Way to call her out, Luke.
It's all right, Sarah. I'm just busting chops. It's okay.
So I thought this was like a fait accompli that Elly De La Cruz was by far the best shortstop in the National League. Lock it up, sew it up, all done. And then I started digging into the numbers.
Okay.
And you start digging into the numbers, and look, we watch Dansby Swanson every single day, so we all know that he's got a 4 for 28 in him, like it's nobody's business. He can swing through a pitch and look, frankly, offensively futile at times. But when you compare him to some of the other shortstops in the National League, let me just offer you this really quick. We start always with WAR, which is always super fun. Whatever. Last year, Mason Wynn, 2.2 WAR. Last year, De La Cruz, 3.6 WAR. Last year, Dansby Swanson, 4.5 WAR. Over the last 2 seasons combined, 7.1 for Wynn, 8.8 for De La Cruz. Right behind him, 8.4 with Dansby Swanson. Last year's OPS, De La Cruz, 777. Dansby Swanson, 717. The errors, obviously, and the defensive run saves, this is where they kind of get torn apart a little bit. Defensive run save, 17 for Mason Wynn, 6 for Dansby Swanson, -5 for Elly De La Cruz.
Wow.
And the other stat that I like is when we talk about strikeout to walk ratio, all of them 4-to-1 candidates. So Dansby strikes out a lot, 168 to 48 walks. Mason Wynn, 102 to 32 walks. De La Cruz, 181 to 67 walks and struck out 218 times. And then here's the final part. Sarah, throw up Elly De La Cruz's baseball savant hitting profile right here. You'll see, okay, a little red, right? But the red is where is the obvious. The bat speed, the sprint speed, because Elly De La Cruz is hella talented. Let's throw up the Dansby Swanson baseball savant just really quickly and just take a look at it. Hello, red. I mean, so
wow.
I get it. Elly De La Cruz, more talented, higher ceiling. I think if you were playing a fantasy baseball league, you would take Elly De La Cruz over Dansby Swanson. He's 23 years old, so yes, building a franchise, you'd want Elly De La Cruz on your team. But for this Cubs team that's built right now to win, I think you can make an argument. Maybe you'd rather have Dansby Swanson, Justin, than Elly De La Cruz, just for the 2026 Cubs.
Interesting argument.
Just for the 2026
Better
Cubs.
fit on this team.
Last night on our chat, you were like, I think I'm going Dansby Swanson #1.
I think I was.
So and I was like, yeah, don't apologize for that. Like, are you showing those graphs to us? Like, yeah, don't apologize. What made you switch this morning and say, you know what? De La Cruz 1, Dansby 2.
I know what it is. It's fear.
It's fear?
Fear of the people out there. It was fear of the people getting all over him. And I'm so impressed that you had charts and heat maps like Brendan on this thing, that if there's one guy that's on your team, it's Brendan. He was probably like, wow, look at the heat maps. It is Dansby in the hair.
Dansby's charts did look better.
It did look better. But here's, okay. I asked myself a bunch of fundamental questions, and this is why I still have Elly De La Cruz at #1. One, if you were starting a team tomorrow, which shortstop would you draft? I think I'm still drafting Elly De La Cruz.
Okay.
#2, I think that the talent is undeniable, and can it be unlocked? We'll find out and see. #3, and we talked about this, Luke, before the show. If I had to play one game tomorrow or one playoff series, who would you rather take into that series? I still think maybe De La Cruz has the slightest edge there. It just depends on how you like your baseball, right?
That's right.
How do you like your baseball player? Elly De La Cruz can do anything on the baseball field that he wants to. He just doesn't do it consistently. Would you rather have a diving stop and 2 errors in the game? That the diving stop saves the run, but you have 2 errors and then maybe lead to a couple other runs? Or would you just rather have solid play?
So
like, that's the question. Do you want a 450-foot home run, or do you want a guy that maybe goes 1 for 5 and plays great defense?
So I would say, to counter what you're saying,
Yeah.
if it was one playoff game, one playoff series, right? Swanson's a veteran. Swanson's been there. He's won a championship. I would say and seeing what we saw last year against the Padres in the playoffs, I would say I'd want Dansby Swanson at shortstop because the pressure won't get to him. We don't know De La Cruz yet on the bright lights of October. I know they had one series, but whatever, right? So I'm just to counter. I'm heated.
Calm down,
but
Justin.
just to counter what you're saying, I think that just for next season, just for that one playoff series, I think I would take Dansby Swanson.
It's fair. Break the tie, Luke. Break the tie, buddy.
All right, so I sided with the Elly De La Cruz just when the chat started yesterday, we were throwing it around. I thought, well, yeah, but if I had to choose one guy for my team, I would say Elly De La Cruz. But then when you said one game, starting a franchise is a totally different totally different argument. It's a young guy with less all that stuff.
Yes.
But when you're talking about one game, it might be Dansby Swanson. Yeah. It just depends on the team you're talking about. If the pitcher is a ground ball pitcher, I want Dansby Swanson. If you're talking about a game 7, I probably take Dansby Swanson because nothing teeters a game like a bad error late in the game. Right? Like you might get a home run, but Dansby still gave you some of that power. Now you might get bad Dansby and have 4 uncompetitive at bats. That's possible.
But you know the defense
but you're still not he's still not going to cost you the game defensively. So
and De La Cruz can steal 60-plus bags in a season. You know, they're different players.
They are very different.
Totally
players.
different.
So it's like how do you take your coffee? You know, with cream and sugar or whatever.
For this
how do you
season,
make
I've changed my mind. I'm going Swanson 1,
there
De
you
La
go.
Cruz number 2. Because we don't even know if he's going to play shortstop. That's how much they don't value him.
Corey
at that
Seacrest
position.
says he's going to the outfield. So what are we doing here?
And Jim Cook, the closet Sox fan, trying to troll us here, saying Colson Montgomery is the best shortstop. Oh, boy. I heard that about Tim Anderson a long time ago. And how's that working out for you?
Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
The other part about it, and doing some work on Dansby, was I started also kind of sneaking around some of the Atlanta Braves stuff, like the Reddit, the fan groups, all that stuff. And whether they like it or not, like the running narrative at Atlanta is that they've never replaced Dansby Swanson. They're still trying to replace Dansby Swanson. And I think for the first offseason ever, they're asking themselves the question, did we make a mistake not re-signing Dansby Swanson? Because Ozzie Albies hasn't quite worked out the way that they wanted to. He's moved over to second base. And look, Dansby, he's got his detractors. And yes, we're going to do some shows and some segments this year where we're like, holy smokes, he just went 0 for 5 and struck out 4 times. But he's a quality baseball player that brings a lot of intangibles to the team. And especially for the way this team is built right now and this year in this moment, he might be the shortstop that you want to have in the NL Central this year.
1,000%. And him and Nico have a vibe. I mean, they obviously have a good chemistry up the middle, which is important, you know? And I feel like, I mean, listen, and for the record, Joey did great work, great research. I mean, like, if you're starting a franchise, 1,000%, we all agree De La Cruz. But I do think one game, one playoff series, you know, Dansby's tried and true. And I really do believe, I'll end on this, that we don't advance in the playoffs last year without Dansby single-handedly, you know, beating the Padres. So he still got it.
Yeah, MVP. And quick thing on Nico, just really fast. Last year, secondhand anecdote, I went to a Q&A with Nico Horner. They were asking him a bunch of questions. And they said, which teammate on the Cubs do you model your work ethic or pregame routine after? And he goes, you know, it's really interesting. So many guys are so different. He's like, me personally, I'm always trying to add something different to my game. Whereas opposed to, he's like, I have all this respect in the world for Dansby Swanson because Dansby at the time last year says Dansby never changes a thing. He shows up and it's the same swing, and he believes that at the end of the day, he trusts that the results will be there at the end of the year. And this year, Luke, he's singing a different tune.
Yeah.
He's a father.
I think that's really
he's reflected on his life.
Father.
That's what it does.
That's it. Could be it. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, and I know, again, spring training, the phrase of this month is talk is cheap, but it is interesting to hear Dansby say that he's maybe trying to change a few things, trying to improve his game offensively. And I don't think that was the case previously for him in previous seasons.
Pat says, first of all, he agrees that in one game, one series, you would take that reliable defense. Yep. If Nico were a full-time shortstop, would he be number 1 on the list instead of Dansby?
Yes.
Well, there's way less power. The defense, maybe not quite as good, but you would get a different type of offensive player.
You get the speed.
Yeah, you get the 30 bags, which kind of neutralizes Elly De La Cruz steals so-and-so bases.
That's a good question.
But even better, we have them both at short and second.
Yeah, let's just rotate.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got them both.
So yesterday we were doing third baseman, Justin, and then Luke just dropped off the top rope and it was so good. He was like, I think we have the 2 best second basemen in the NL Central.
Yeah.
And when we talk about this infield, it's depth, it's how dynamic it is defensively, and what it can do offensively. You start to look around the diamond, and you say to yourself, wow, this is something to get really excited about.
Yeah.
I'm here for the Dansby adjustments as long as he doesn't go with a crew cut, because then you get the whole Samson thing from the Bible, and it concerns me just a little bit. All right, coming up next on the CHGO Cubs podcast, we're talking Matt Shaw in right field. Could there be a platoon at DH? It's next on the CHGO Cubs podcast.
Aruba, Jamaica, get out of here, all right? You might not have the money to get out of town, but you can at least treat yourself to a nice weekend out. And when you do, make sure you make it at Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee, because they got everything you need in one spot. We're talking about thousands of the latest slots and table games. And if you're ready to refuel, which I definitely am, they've got tons of amazing restaurants and bars to choose from. So whether you're feeling fancy or you just want a quick bite, they've got you covered. And here's the best part. You don't even have to leave the property. Have yourself a staycation at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Stay in style at their luxury hotel that's just steps away from what many call the Midwest's best sports book. And if you're heading to maybe, I don't know, watching the Cubs beat the buns off the Brewers all summer long, what better than to stay at Potawatomi, hit the sports book, and head straight to the game. It's all right there, super convenient. Milwaukee's got a full winter lineup also of concerts, festivals, sports, you name it, so you don't have to wait for Brewers Cubs. Head to Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. It's the perfect home base for it all. Your win is waiting right now, so go check it out today.
Aruba. New vehicles are in store at Ray Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, and this is your chance to score a great deal at the auto show sales event. Head to Ray's CDJR on Route 12 today to choose from the huge inventory of new Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram vehicles right now. Get 0% financing for 72 months on new Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram models. Plus, shop over 125 vehicles they have priced under $20,000. And with that friendly team of brand experts at Ray CDJR, they prioritize affordability so you won't overpay. And with Ray's Price Promise, you can shop confidently. No add-ons, no hidden fees. Ever the price you see is the price you pay.
Boom.
Go check out our partner, the team at Ray CDJR. They're the only one we recommend. Don't miss out on their auto show sales event for huge savings on new models. For more information, Ray CDJR today on Route 12 in Fox Lake or online at raycdjr.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Welcome back to the CHGO Cubs podcast. We're talking Matt Shaw in right field. Better father, better husband, better man. Go to Game Day Men's Health. Visit GameDayCHGO.com to find locations closest to you. Here's our Game Day Men's Health difference maker. Could it be that we have Matt Shaw at this utility role that we talked about? You mentioned right before the break. I said, well, he might be the second best third baseman in our division.
Yeah.
He might be one of the better right fielders because Bruce Levine was talking to Craig Counsell, and they said, no question, get ready for him to play a lot of outfield, not just a little. He's going to play outfield. And one of the spots that you almost can certainly see it is a good fit in right. A fit in right when you have that platoon where you want to send Seiya to DH, you can put Shaw in right, and Ballesteros doesn't play that game.
Against a lefty, I'm presuming.
And then you flip it the other way around, and you get Ballesteros as the DH.
Right.
Seiya goes back out there. So we'll see some there. I think we'll see some at third base. I think we'll see some. We might see some in left field.
Yeah, have a switch hitter, but why not? And I had said when we were talking about Nico and Matt Shaw, I was very much on keep both of them. I do love both players. I thought all along, for some reason, against a lefty starter, Mo Baller goes to the bench, Bregman goes to DH, Matt Shaw plays third base because he played great there last year. I guess I really didn't think about it, but it makes sense about Seiya going to DH, Mo Baller going to the bench, and Matt Shaw playing right field against a lefty. And I guess that's awesome as well. The framework was there. I just thought it would be at third base versus right field, but it just kind of shows you that Matt Shaw can play anywhere, and it could be any of those situations depending on need.
The only thing I hesitate is we say that. We both have just said it. I don't know that he can play anywhere. I don't know that he's going to be Ben Zobrist. Craig Counsell was asked, do you expect him to play all these positions and be great at them? We didn't, going into last year, we didn't know he was going to be that good at third.
Right.
If there was a question mark, it was not that is he going to hit at the major league level. It's going to be, can he actually play third base?
Right.
He put that to rest.
Yeah.
He can play third base.
Yeah.
Now the question is, can he play right field? And he said, well, I played a lot of it growing up. I played it I've played outfield before. I'm comfortable with it. The response from counsel was, I don't expect him to be great. He just needs to be good at these positions.
Better than Seiya, right? I mean, for right field.
Frankly, good would be a step above Seiya in right field. So,
and don't forget, he was a shortstop almost his whole life, right? And what is the best athlete playing from the day they're playing Little League, they play shortstop.
Yeah, the opposite's not happening. Sorry to interrupt. No. Seiya's not going to play third base or shortstop.
Exactly. So, Matt Shaw was the best athlete on every team he's ever been on as a shortstop. So he showed us he could play third base. Great. He played second base a little in college. He could do that as well. But I don't have a doubt that he can play the outfield well. Don't forget, Ian Happ came up as a second baseman. Mm-hmm. Ian Happ was our second. He's turned himself into a Gold Glove left fielder, 2-3 years in a row. So I'm not worried about Matt Shaw in right field. It's about reps. Kind of like riding a bike. You never forget how to do it. But I have no worries or doubts that Matt Shaw can be a great outfielder if we need him to be.
I think this is going to be one of the more fascinating storylines of spring training with this select group of players. And it's Matt Shaw, Seiya Suzuki, Ian Happ, and in my opinion, Tyler Austin and Moises Ballesteros. And here's the reason why. When it comes to Matt Shaw, hit 250 against left-handed pitching last year, OPS 808. So obviously it's going to be a good matchup for him out of the gate. But when it comes to Moises Ballesteros, Tyler Austin, and Matt Shaw, the first three most important things for those dudes is those dudes need to hit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I get it if Matt Shaw comes out and he plays a solid, even above average defense out there in right field. If the dude isn't hitting, he's going to make it difficult on himself. Right. I would tell the exact same thing to a guy like Tyler Austin. The reason why I'm throwing Ian Happ into the mix is because I like Ian Happ, dude. I like Ian Happ a lot. He's a switch hitter, but guess what, dude? He hasn't hit lefties for a long time. Yeah. I love that he can turn around and hit from the right side. That's great. Right. He just can't really get it done. If Matt Shaw's hitting or if Tyler Austin's hitting, Seiya can play left field. So then you have Seiya in left, Matt Shaw in right, and then at DH you could do Tyler Austin and just really load up on right-handed hitting and get guys with some good matchups out there. Tyler Austin provides a little bit more power. The final part of the fascinating, Luke, that I can't wait to see is it's a day game in June. Mm-hmm. The sun is high.
Oh, yes.
Who do you trust to catch that high pop fly in right field? A position that notoriously, historically, is one of the toughest places to play, not just for the well, but because of that sun. Is it going to be Matt Shaw? Is it going to be Seiya Suzuki? That's the part that I'm curious to see, and we might not have that answer until June.
The answer is Jason Hayward.
Yes, but facts.
I was going to say neither.
Yeah, right.
Honestly,
because I just have trauma from previous years.
That's right.
It's tough.
That was the point I was making. Was we don't really know. We may get 4 or 5 games into this experiment and say, oh, the answer is Matt Shaw all the way. He's actually really good. Maybe he is almost gold glove level out there. I don't know. I just know that my friend and former teammate Doug Glanville told me that right field at Wrigley is one of the toughest spots he ever played. People just don't realize the sun comes through there, the swirling winds. Yeah. You have the well. It's the brick wall. Mm-hmm. We saw Casey struggle with that last year. Yes, Shaw has played outfield, but he's never played right field at Wrigley.
Oh, for sure.
The brick wall, the indentation back there, the sun, the wind. So we'll see. And by the way, we'll get a different type of test now in Arizona, because outfield at Arizona is another one with the high sky out there.
Yes.
He'll get a good taste of, I'm not sure where the ball is.
I've seen PCA look bad in spring training.
That's right.
With that high sky, all that stuff.
Even if it doesn't look perfect in spring training, which I'm going to guess the Cactus League it won't because of the skies and stuff in Arizona, doesn't mean it won't translate to Wrigley, but at least we'll get a little taste of the adventure out there.
And I think it's good enough of an athlete to work at it and succeed at it. I mean, again, Ian Happ was a second baseman. I don't think any of us, when we drafted him, thought he was going to be a Gold Glove left fielder for us for multiple years. It's about need. It's about things. So I didn't think we were ever going to need Matt Shaw in right field, and here we are. Oh wow, actually, it makes sense to put him out there and say a B or DH. But I love the flexibility. I think this team. I'm so glad we kept Nico, we kept Shaw, because flexibility wise, I think we're onto something here. Anytime you're gonna sit Bregman, or you're not lacking in that area because you plug in someone like Matt Shaw. So I do love the flexibility, and I'm not. One more time, I'll say it. I don't doubt Matt Shaw's talent, and I think he can do it when given the opportunity.
Yeah, I was going to say he's going to get the opportunity because they're going to have guys playing the WBC. So he's going to get tons of run.
Oh, that's right.
Tons of run.
I was just going to say the best advice I could give Matt Shaw, and I shouldn't give him any advice about playing baseball because he's way better than I am. But the best advice I could give him is
hit the ball.
Start trying out in Arizona. Get yourself a pair of the Bill Buckner, Ryan Sandberg flip down shades.
Okay.
Get the flip downs.
Right.
I want eye black on Shaw, and I want the flip downs.
Okay.
The flip downs are what saved Rhino at Wrigley. Zonk had the eye black in right field. That's what I want to see him. I want to see him go retro in right.
And for God's sakes, man, use two hands.
Use two hands.
Example.
Use the glove to shade the sun.
That's the thing is, we give Seiya a hard time. And I think Seiya can be a capable right fielder. It's just when his gaffes, the errors are so huge.
Yeah.
And they, of course, we'll never forget the one in 23 against the Braves, which
Oh my God.
didn't sink September, but man, that was the harbinger.
Yeah.
That was the harbinger right there. Like, yeah, so can you minimize the glaring ones? Can you let's not poop our pants all summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that Seiya that he needs to clean up. But again, I like that Shaw, really quick, Justin, I just like the Shaw thing too, because I think Seiya was at his best at times, not necessarily on his feet all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we kept him healthy, and I think there was something to him playing a lot of DH that lent itself to that health.
And then when we needed Seiya, don't forget, he came over here as somebody who we thought could play good defense. And then last year when Kyle Tucker did his thing, we had to have Seiya Suzuki in right field, and the guy played pretty good. I mean, you talk about the gaff back in 23. I don't remember gaffes last year when we needed him down the stretch or in the postseason. I thought Seiya Suzuki played a really good right field. So, we can poke at his defense here and there, but I think that he wasn't as bad as we're joking around to be. And I think also when we traded for Kyle Tucker, Suzuki was mad about that. He didn't want to be just a DH. Hopefully it motivated him a little bit more about, I better get my defense back. And from what I saw at the end of last year in the playoffs, Seiya Suzuki is a very capable right fielder.
It's all good till you poop your pants. You know what I'm saying? The party's fine.
I mean, I say that like 2 or 3 times a week.
So that's the thing to say.
It is time for our big takeaway presented by Xfinity. Imagine that. Did you hear the big major league news this morning that Tony Clark is resigning as the head of the MLB Players Association? He's being investigated and has been being investigated by I believe the Eastern District of New York for some funds that go to a youth players league has gotten like $10 million, but they're only making like a certain amount, and it's being distributed in different ways. So he's stepping down. The timing of it is what is crazy.
Horrible.
Just first of all, understand that there could be a work stoppage at the end of the season. This is not a good way to approach that. Or maybe it is. Maybe it'll be a blessing in disguise. The other part that's crazy is today was day one for Tony Clark and the Players Association to start getting together and going to each ballpark and talking to the players at each thing. So they go to each team and sit down with the teams and say, all right, this is what we're working on. This is what we want to stick together as. And this was day one.
Not a good day one.
So it's not day one. Nico Horner, who is the Cubs representative this year, player rep this year, was asked about it. He's like, guys, I don't know. We're going to have a call this afternoon with all the player reps. I don't know a whole lot about it. I didn't see it coming. Some guys said this isn't a shock. Nico Horner said didn't see it coming. So how will it impact what goes on at the end of this season? It's not going to impact a lot of stuff right now unless those negotiations are quietly going on behind the scenes. This is a huge deal. This could be a massive deal. And I have one answer for it, and I saw somebody else on Twitter say it. This is where the players need to now just look to the side and say, there's only one person that can save us.
Who is it?
Theo Epstein.
Theo Epstein.
Guys,
the savior.
We just take Theo Epstein away from Major League Baseball, put him on our side. He knows their side. He solved the rules. He solved the pitch clock. Wow. He solved a 108-year
curse,
drought and curse. And
Austin.
now he will save the Cubs. Call up Theo and say, whatever they're paying you and whatever you're doing, we will triple it. We will give you Roger Goodell money to be our man. And we trust you anyways. In Theo, we trust. Either that or both sides need to just say, Theo, you're our arbitrator.
He's like turning into like a Paul Bunyan. Like, do you ever heard the time that Theo broke the curse and then he also helped protect the players from the strike? And so just on its face, right? Like, I think Tony Clark wasn't unanimously adored by his constituents in the players union. Regardless of that, I always think of the first two things that come to my mind whenever leadership changes, right? Is the first one is who replaces him, and then the second one is sometimes whenever there is a leadership change or whatever you get, sometimes you get a new role in life. Sometimes there's a feeling that you have to do extra, or like you see it all the time. Like, my wife has had 40,000 bosses in her life, and I bet you 39,000 of them, they get there and the first thing they want to do is make their mark to show that they're different and better than everything.
Things up.
And when we talk about mixing things up, Justin, I guess my worry is whoever does come in, is he going to be a hardliner? You know what I mean? Is this a wartime consigliere that we're bringing in here? Is he a peacetime guy? You know, what is he going to bring to the table that's going to bring peace to these labor negotiations, not make things harder or more acrimonious because he needs to prove that he's different from Tony Clark, whoever this person is.
Oh yeah.
That would be my biggest fear.
You know,
a new ego in the room. Yeah. Trying to swing that ego around would be my fear.
Either way, it's horrible timing for the Players Association. I mean, the timing couldn't be worse. You know, I don't know Tony Clark. I never liked him. I always thought he came off kind of arrogant and I never liked his vibe on TV and everything. So for this to happen, it's like, obviously he wasn't the best of dude and wasn't the most honest dude, but the timing could not be worse, especially because so many people predict that there will be a work stoppage. Now, I don't know who they're going to pick. Theo Epstein would be a great choice. I mean, I want Theo Epstein to like run the country personally. I love Theo Epstein more than anybody could love another human being in the world because of what he did for my Cubbies. But my point is that I just hope that baseball's in a really, 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 really good spot right now. Really good spot. I think even though the Cubs weren't in the World Series last year, it was a great World Series last year. I thought it was phenomenal. And the ratings show that as well. And it's a very healthy game right now. There are some things that have to get fixed. Obviously, I'm not a fan of what Dodgers are doing when it comes to deferred payments and all. There's some things that have to get fixed. But the sport itself is very, very healthy. So I hope, to answer your question, that whoever they do bring in to be the head of the Players Association is smart enough to know, along with baseball owners, that we cannot afford to have a work stoppage or a strike. And you will step it back 10 years on a game that is just this game. I think is better than the NBA's product. I really do. NFL is in a league of its own, but this game, MLB, I think is better than the NBA. So you just can't afford a work stoppage. So I hope whoever they bring in is smart enough to know, sure, negotiate, play hardball, but at the end of the day, if we strike or if there's a work stoppage, we all lose.
I actually have the name for it. I say Theo sort of jokingly. Like, not that I don't think he'd be good at it. It's just he's on the MLB side already. Like, very rarely do you get the guy to totally jump over. I have the name. And what Joey was saying, there's a clear example of what you're saying. New guy comes in and kind of muddles things up as he tries to make his name. Have you ever heard of Kevin Warren?
I was just thinking it.
The Bears had a stadium. They broke ground. They demolished the racetrack. They were ready to build in Chicago, and then he was like, I can get a better deal. Right. Let's waste 3 years of our time here. And here we are. We still don't know where they're going to go. That's the example of what they don't want to do. So I'm looking for someone. It's Players Association. Usually they want somebody that's been a player. Right. You're looking for a former player who's very intelligent and uber intelligent, okay?
I'm trying to guess who
John Smoltz?
That is not the answer I was going for. And somebody that will be able to represent the players in the best light. You're not going to have to worry about the Eastern District nosing around what you have going on, and he will make sure that not only this era of players is protected, but the next era of players is protected. And I don't know that this person would ever want to do this, but I already mentioned him on the show. Doug Glanville's an Ivy League guy. Like, he's one of the smartest guys I know. Okay. He's about as respected as you can get in Major League Baseball. Yeah. I've never, ever heard anybody say a negative word about Doug Glanville. And Doug has been talked about as a guy who potentially could be a GM someday because of the way he's able to look at baseball, the way he played it, and he's able to look at the analytics. Right. And he's willing to accept that both can exist in one thing. That's the type of guy you're looking for. I don't know if the Players Association has thought of his name, but he'd be one of the first people if I wasn't asking him to do it, he'd be one of the first people I would call and say, who do you think?
Okay, right.
Okay.
A recommendation.
Yeah. Who do you think? I would ask Theo the same thing, even though he might be on the other side. Theo's a person to ask, who do you think? And as far as current Cubs players that might do this job someday down the line, Nico and Ian Happ would also be good guys potentially in the future. But if I'm just thinking of former players that I've talked to and you're like, wow, that guy, he knows everything. And he comes from a background that understands culture, that understands what baseball needs, that understands what it's like to not be the superstar on the team and is representing all of those players. A guy that played with the Sammys and the Rhinos and different personalities. Doug Glanville is again, I don't know that he'd want the job, but I sure as heck would call him and at least ask him what he thinks.
Yeah, some suggestions here in the chat here. Corey Seacrest with Kyle Hendricks, Pat Jumer with Greg Maddox, Chef Hendricks. Kevin Penner. Yes, Chef. A labor lawyer. They don't need to be an ex-player. Also, earlier, Chad Schultz, I was on to something where he picked up on my Godfather reference with RIP to Robert Duvall. But I will say, when you talk about Theo, I think maybe MLB should try and find themselves a Tom Hagen. And Tom Hagen, obviously, for anyone not familiar in The Godfather, was part of the family. He was their lawyer, but then Michael cuts him out of the family because he wants him to have plausible deniability. Like, you already know where the old bodies are buried. We don't want you to know where the new bodies are buried. So maybe they need to bring in someone who is a bit of a Tom Hagen that doesn't know all the stuff, that all the residue, all the acrimony from the other side on the labor. Has someone come in and just work the numbers, just get the deal done. Get the Corleones to Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of maybe someone that's already been in the business a little bit, or someone that's succeeding Tony Clark or anything along those lines.
Can I admit something real fast? I have never seen The Godfather.
How dare you?
Really?
I've never seen it.
Oh my!
I've never wanted to see it. I've never seen it.
I've
when
seen
you say
it,
you don't want to see it, though, what does that mean?
Yeah. I mean,
you don't know what it is.
I know I'm actually older than you, but for me, it always seemed old. I just was like, it was like one of those movies. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, it's old. Like, when my dad loved it. You know, like I just like I grew up with like I don't know, like Tom Hanks movies. That was old to me, and so I never saw it. Never really had a desire. I know
you've seen it, right?
I've seen it.
Okay. At least we're okay.
Do you think it's as amazing as everyone says it is?
No, I'm not as like crazy as people are. But is it an all-time great movie? Yes, but it's not in my top 10 list.
Okay, right.
Are you talking about one or two?
Both.
Okay.
Both. I'm just saying, like, that is not. I enjoyed The Sopranos as much as I enjoyed.
Right.
Oh, that's fair.
The Godfather,
Okay.
and The Sopranos is not my top 3 of series that I've ever watched, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
No, they don't need to belong in like. I don't need everyone to agree that they're like the top whatever movies. I'm more of
a lighthearted movie. Like, What About Bob's in my top 10, okay?
Anchorman is in my top, my number one.
Right, yeah. So just know who I am.
Vacation, Chevy Chase, those are my movies. But
Gone? He's never gone.
More than I'm a fixer or whatever, I'm. Right. Nobody's waking up with a horse head around me.
Okay. Right. Good to know.
I saw Kyle Hendricks mentioned. That would be another great name.
Well, I was gonna you had picked it out, but I was gonna say, Luke, you had said about the Ivy League situation. Well, Kyle Hendricks is an Ivy League guy, right? So I believe Dartmouth, is that where you're? Yeah. So I mean, you're a very smart guy. Now, I would also argue that listen, he has success, but I would not say Kyle Hendricks was a superstar by any stretch. I mean, like he was a very good player, but so he could probably think about the superstars and then the last guy on the roster. He could probably do that too. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's very interesting to see who they're gonna do. I just hope that whoever it is isn't stupid enough to know that neither side and the fans don't deserve it, can afford a work stoppage. It would just be horrible.
Right. And listen, I don't know what the job's going to pay, but if it's big money, I'm open. That was the big takeaway presented by Xfinity. Imagine that. We got to get some real big stuff here in the last 5 minutes of the show because the promotional schedule is out. And people just get crazy about this stuff. When are you going to go? And I saw somebody say Friday 120 Club's going to be lit this year because they've got all these retro jerseys they're going to be doing on Fridays as giveaway. The first thing that I saw on the list where I was like, interesting. Listen, old guys like me, we love a good puffer vest. March 28th, the puffer vest. That's not, I don't have a picture of this here, but a puffer vest, we like a good vest, right? My arms don't get cold. My arms don't get cold, but I don't have the mass I used to have up here, so I like to stay a little warm up top. April 11th, the Ben Zobrist bobblehead. Now, that's a good one. That's a great one. I will say that the bobbleheads are pretty good, and it's Zobrist.
Yeah.
Fingers up, baby. Fingers up, BZ. That's a good one, April 11th. Now, you might have to sit through an absolutely miserable cold day
to get that one.
April 11th, yeah.
And you got to be one of the first 10,000. So I'm not going to judge you if you show up, get the bobblehead, and turn around and go home. I'm just letting you know. If it's that cold, sometimes those April games are just like 38, windy.
My dad instilled in me from a very early age that you stay the entire game. It doesn't matter the weather. It doesn't matter the score. I have that in me where I feel like a loser if I leave in the seventh inning.
I was that way.
You were that way.
I was that way. And then I went to thousands of Cubs games over a stretch of time. And it was like,
I hear you.
I've frozen at this ballpark enough. I feel free that I can leave whenever the heck I want to leave.
I hear you.
And if it's after I get my Zobrist bobblehead, great. If it's sunny, I'm there through 9.
You're staying, right?
Then I'm staying.
I got you.
I've never missed the end of a Cubs game where I thought, I should have stayed.
Yeah.
If it's 14-2, I'm out.
Right.
Okay.
Right. You never pulled a fever pitch.
No,
with Jimmy Fallon.
No. When they came back against the Rockies, I was there as a fan. Actually, that 10-run comeback, I was there for it.
Yeah.
Okay, May 2nd, the Kerry Wood bobblehead comes up. Interesting. It's a nice one.
Yeah, very nice.
Kerry Wood throwing there looks good. Kid K. May 24th. Now, this is the one I would like somebody to get me. So, Patrick, I'm looking at you right across there, Patrick. Now, if you're going to be at the ballpark that day, as you will be some of these games, the May 24th Rhino bobblehead. He's got the left foot on top of a stack of gold gloves.
That's awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
That's
really cool.
That's a pretty – and they play the Astros.
Oh, all right.
So, Bregman revenge game.
Yes. There you go. I love it.
I like that one. Oh, Patrick's trying to tell me it's going to cost me money.
Oh,
really? Can you believe that?
Interesting.
How about Father's Day? The dad shirt.
The dad shirt's pretty cool.
On the 21st.
That's awesome. The
dad shirt. Number 1. Glanville number 1, right? I think Dougie Glanz wore number 1 for the Cubs. I'm pretty sure.
So.
I actually think he wore 2 numbers, but I think 1 was one of them. July 18th is the day we're all circling, though. That is the World Series celebration of 2016.
Yeah.
That's the day, right? And we're going to have to do some sort of Friday 120, but on a Saturday. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to have to do something.
Because we found out the Friday is actually a night game before the celebration game.
Yeah.
So it's
Friday's a 7:05. And when I asked Rizzo at CubsCon if he was going to be back in the bleachers, he said that he wanted to try and get the whole team out to the bleachers. And I would guess it would be July 17th, the night before the big ceremony, right? They could maybe do it on the 18th too, but like, wouldn't it be fun? They all do that. They do the bleachers for a couple innings and they all go out to dinner together, probably get sloshed. Then the next day they get up and then they do the celebration. So that's definitely one to circle for sure.
July 18th is also Pat Norton's birthday. Did you know that?
I didn't, but I noticed that he's
on.
He's now in the chat right behind the set, putting a message out that says cowardly. Pat, nobody has ever called you cowardly to your face. Okay.
Did you like the video yet?
Harry Carey is August 30th. The one I really think is the coolest of the looking bobbleheads. I want the Rhino one the most.
Oh God, I got scared.
The Sammy Sosa one is.
Yeah, the Sosa. It's good to see Sammy back. Like
September 13th.
Yeah, they kind of hit
him. Is that
a
Friday the 13th?
Is it
September 13th? Is that a Friday?
Do you know this past Friday was Friday?
2 in a row. Next month is Friday the 13th.
Harry Carey looks like a gremlin and Mike Francesa had a child or something.
Harry Carey, that's a pretty...
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It's a Sunday. It's a Sunday. That's good news. All right, we got to wrap this bad boy
because
up.
Friday is September 11th. We looked at that earlier. So Friday is September 11th. Yeah, so
that's
Sunday,
why they didn't do it.
Yeah, Cubs Pirates.
It's not maybe the day to do a giveaway of Sandy.
No.
All right, thanks for checking out the CHGO Cubs podcast. We are back tomorrow. Don't forget, you got time to sign up, but why waste it? Sign up for the spring training trip.
Join
CHGO
us.
Cubs back at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be here to talk more Cubs. Until then, thanks for watching. Fly the W.
We all silly like the mayor.